So if you ask me if I like journaling, the answer is yes. These are all of the journals that I have written in and completed. I've been journaling since I was a child, on and off in childrenhood, but in my teenage years and my adulthood, it's a safe space for me. So I just thought that I would kind of share my ecosystem, as they say. Let's start with the homegirl has experience. So first and foremost, this is my first journal. Little Keroppi journal. I opened it to a random page the other day, and I want to share this entry with you. I'm going to Big Bear. I saw a helicopter in the sky. I like Tigger. Here is a picture of Tigger. And it's just like a little sticker of Tigger. I unfortunately did not put the year, but this was definitely elementary school. So like this is a VIP journal. And then I also wanted to mention this journal. This is my first sentence journal. So at the end of every day, I would just reflect on the day and write a few lines. And I did it for 5 years. Actually, I got this secondhand, and I just started doing it in July, I think is where it goes into 5 years. There's some that is only 4 years, but it is 2021 to 2025. And then after I finished this guy, I got another sentence journal as a Christmas gift. So this is my current sentence journal. This is a Lectrum, the Some Lines a Day 5-year memory book, and I really like this as well. What I really like about this over that one is the size. I feel like when I was writing in that small sentence journal, I was just like kind of having to like really be cramped with my writing. So having like a full-size journal for my sentence journal has been really nice. And I think that if you want to get into journaling, a sentence journal is a great first start, especially when it's just like open-ended. You can say whatever you want. I like to reflect on my day, like my highlights of my day in these, but I feel like if you wanted to do a morning entry, especially since it says some lines a day, like it's just writing for like a little portion of the day. So this is my current journal, and actually I finished it today. So everybody knows about morning pages, but if you don't, which I don't blame you, but it's just gotten rampant on the internet. It is Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way book. She guides the person who's going through this process to adopt morning pages, and that is 3 pages of just writing however you want to express yourself. And so lately in this one, I was doing just 1 page of writing, and recently have readopted going back to 3 pages. So doing 1 page for a long period of time and then moving back into 3 pages has let me see the shift that you can receive from expressing yourself a little bit longer. The other thing that's cool about this journal, it has like this travel stamps on it, so I was just holding on to it as a travel journal, but we'll get to a travel journal shortly. But before I thought that it was going to be a travel journal, it was actually my volleyball journal from 2007 when I was playing college volleyball. So seeing those entries is really cute. And then basically I've made a pact with myself to not have any journal left behind. So I was like, there's so many pages in this journal that are empty. So just finished this journal. It went from November of last year to today. So it's the beginning of April. And this is my next journal, and got this around Christmas time last year. And it is, kind of quote unquote childish, but Beauty and the Beast was my favorite movie and Disney princess when I was growing up. And just like the hologram stained glass effect on this. I just find it so pretty. And so this will be my next journal starting today. I guess getting into kind of how I go about journaling. A lot of my journaling is just documenting and reflecting. It's kind of like checking in with a friend, like having a phone call and just saying like, this is what I've been up to. This is how I've been feeling. I also do a lot of gratitude rampages, especially like towards the end of the entry. And that's when you just express gratitude as much as possible. So in my most recent journal, I was doing like a weekly spread and kind of making this like my morning pages and my commonplace journal, but I wrapped my head around commonplace journaling, and that is this journal. And this has a little like pencil pouch on it that I really love. And basically when it comes to commonplace journaling, the thing that helped me wrap my head around it the most was basically it's your notes app in a written form. And I find that it's actually more beneficial for me to be writing these lists physically because I'm able to revisit them more often. So now I put my weekly layout in my commonplace journal. I do lists, and I also started doing interstitial journaling in my commonplace journal as well. So this is where you timestamp and kind of write a couple of lines about what you're up to, just so that you can kind of come back to it and realize what you're doing in this like day and age of getting really distracted, especially by our phones. I just have the journal like laying open and like, you know, timestamp. It was 2:00 when you started doing this, and now it's 4:00 in the afternoon, like that type of vibe of like coming back to focusing on the intention that you made. I found it very helpful. And yeah, I like to have my weekly layout also in my commonplace journal. So I still do digital calendar stuff, but I also have adopted like at the beginning of the week, laying out my week physically on paper and just writing in everything that I need to for those dates. This is my travel journal that I've had for over 10 years. I've been adding a lot of like souvenirs to the inside of it now, and I'm hopeful by the end of this year, maybe I will have it completed. I think that like I always have the best intention to journal while I'm traveling, and sometimes it's just not as easy as it is. You're on a completely different routine. So this is my current travel journal, and then this is my next travel journal. I got this gifted to me by my sister, and like the Atlas vibe of it just screams travel journal. So she actually made this. She used to work at Paper Source, so they learned how to, you know, create books. And so yeah, this is my next travel journal. And then another journal that I want to implement but haven't yet. So this was a journal that I also got for Christmas. I think I got like 5 journals last Christmas. Like, people know that I like to journal. And this is actually from my niece, which is very, very sweet. And so it's near and dear to my heart. So this is going to be the notebook that I'm going to put my book reports in. It's like I annotate books and nothing really comes of that. The annotations just stick in the book. So I think I want to like recopy thoughts and quotes and feelings into its own book. So that's what this one's for. And here are a couple of upcoming journals after I get through my Beauty and the Beast journal. 2 out of those 3 were also Christmas gifts. Both of these journals were from my sisters. And I got this on vacation last summer. So not only do I have a lot of journals filled out, I have a lot of like notebooks and journals that are just waiting for me to add my life story to. So journaling is a big part of my life. It definitely has had phases, but lately in life it has been very present. In my life, I have a reminder on my phone to just write. Like, I prefer to write in the morning to like adopt that morning pages vibe. The morning pages are to help you like clear your mind And I did notice once I started writing 3 pages, it came with like motivation and a desire to be creative and show up in my life differently. If I don't get to my writing in the morning, then that reminder is just going to stay on my phone until I get to it. And then my sentence journal is also a reminder I have on my phone, so I'll always check in at the end of the day. So I have a lot of tips and tricks when it comes to journaling. It's like a practice that I've had for decades now, and that kind of leads me to an online offering that I've been developing over the last year, and it is to help people recover from burnout. And so I find that having a journaling practice really helps you be present with yourself, and like be present with your life. And so in that online offering, I do a deeper dive into journaling and how that can help you. I haven't released it yet, but I will in the future. And so if that interests you, feel free to subscribe and follow along for when it is released. So I appreciate you being here for another video, and I will see you in the next one.